Yeah, so today we're going to be taking measurements, learning how to take body measurements. I'm using a curvy model in this video. I'll do another video using a slimmer model. You know why I want to do use two different models is so that you get to see how the measurements change from one body size to another. So you just have to know how to take accurate body measurements. So first off, we'll begin with taking the shoulder. If you can, you get the client to put on the top, so you place your tape from that line, that joining line where the sleeve joins to the body of the garment. You place your tape from one point to the other points. Okay, so and then you take that as the shoulder measurements. All right, so now we're taking the back half length measurements. It just simply means where the shoulder, the nape of the shoulder, so that curve in the woman's body, the curve, yes. So that point is where we call the back half length. So you're supposed to, if you don't do that, when you sew the cloth, the garment is going to come out the back half length. For example, if you're sewing a peplum top or a peplum dress, the garment is going to go lower instead of sitting at the appropriate place on the body. Okay, so you see that curve, you just place the tape at the nape of the neck and then you get the number. It varies from one client to the other. Okay, so now we're taking the bust measurements. So you place the tape round the back and on the apex of the bust, which is the nipple points. Okay, so yes, you do that, and I want her to turn to the other side so that you will see where the tape is sitting exactly on her body. So please don't make the mistake of putting the tape. You see it's sitting just right there at the same level of where her bust is. Don't take it down, but on that level where the bust is. Okay, great. So whatever it is, you ask the customer if she feels comfortable with the measurements, but please don't take anything too shirty. Just get a snug fit. Next, we're moving on to the round on the bust, just like it says, round her on the bust. So what I like to do is, place the tape directly under the bust, feeling that metal, that bra wire. Yes, I place the tape there and I take a snug measurement. Not too tight, not too loose, just snug, just fitted. Okay, comfortable fit. Great. Now you see the tape at the back is still on the same level of where her round on the bust is. So now we're moving to the waist measurement. Now where I like to take is not where the navel is, but still referring to that curve in the woman's figure. We'll call it the umpire shape, the umpire waist. So that's where we're going to place our tape. Yeah, that curve, that figure. So you place the tape round there and you get a comfortable fit. Not too tight, not too loose, just comfortable. Something that fits, that when you wear it, you feel close to your body, you feel comfortable, you can move, you can sit down, you can eat and have fun. Okay, so now you place the tape round, let it turn, and you see exactly where that half length is in front is where it is at the back. It's not down, you see, but right where it ought to be. Okay, not up, but right where it ought to be. So whatever that gives you, you take that and you write it down. So next we move on to take the hip. Now you place the tape at the apex of her butt, not where it is right now, at the apex of her butt. Are you saying the fullest part of her butt? You place it. Then when she turns, are you seeing also the tape is going to be lying on the fullest part of the hip? Are you seeing on the fullest part of the hip? That gives you the right hip measurement. Okay, so now we're going to be taking our vertical measurements. Before we've been taking circumferential measurements, so now we're taking vertical. So now to know where to place your tape, from the nape of her, you see that ear? Yes, you take your hand, you trace, that gives you the nape of the neck. You place the tape there and you get what? Her bustier. Her bustier simply means where her nipple point is. So you place the tape at the nape of the neck, and you put it, you place the tape where her nipple is. If you don't know where it is, please don't feel shy to ask please. That will give you the accurate bustier nipple point measurement. Okay, so then the next measurement, now taking notes, the bust pan, for a bust pan you just get the tape from one nipple to the other nipple. That will give you your bust pan. Okay, so never assume that. Okay, so now we're taking her on the bust measurements. On the bust measure, I like to place the tape still at the nape of the neck and touch that wire in that bra. So the customer should be wearing a bra, please. Touch that wire. That will help you a lot. Touch that wire. Now you see her adjusting her blouse, because you have to wear a correct bra, a good bra, please, for us to have a correct, accurate measurement. So the client has to be putting on a good bra. So the tape at the nape of the neck, across the bust, not by this side, across the front of the bust. You place the tape at the nape of the neck, across the front of the bust, and you touch that wire, that bra wire. That will give you the accurate one. So now what I'm demonstrating here was that for her we got 17 as the under bust, and for her back we got 17. So that tells you now that if we're taking her front half length, which is giving us, let's wait for it. Her front half length is giving us 20. If we're taking that and put in the garment, when we're sewing the garment, we placed it same as the back, that garment is going to drop down. It's not going to sit at her back. Okay, now look at it. You see, we got 17. See where 20 is. So now you see why it's important to take the back half length, because the bustier the client is, the more farther away the half length is going to be for the back and the front. Okay, the more the difference is going to be. If the client is not that bossy, you might see some differences of like 1 inch and so, but for this Persian client it's 3 inches. Now her front half length, you place the tape at the nape of the neck, across the bust, under the bust line, and you trace where that umpire waist, that shape, that curve. Use your finger and trace it, please, and that will give you the accurate half length, half cuts. We have different ways of saying it here in Nigeria. Now the next is the blouse length. Always ask the customer. It ranges from 24 to 28, but ask the customer. You place the tape at the nape of the neck, across the bust, under the bust, and down to wherever she said she wants. For her it's 29. Okay, so moving on. Moving on. When you want to take the next measurement, we're going to take is what we call the shoulder to hip line measurements. So now, why this measurement is accurate? Have you seen situations where you sew a dress and the hip that is supposed to be on the hip line is either hanging low or hanging high and not anywhere close to the actual hip line? Yes, that's because the shoulder to the hip line measurement is not being taken. So to take that, you have to place, why it's important is that when you get that line, that exact shoulder to hip line, you will know the correct and accurate place to place your hip line, your hip measurement. So to get that, you simply put the tape at the nape of the neck, across the bust, get the client to hold the tape for you across the bust, you place under the bust, touch that wire at the nape of the neck, and then in front or not at the side, you use your under hand the bust, and you see the highest point of her shoulder to hip, you get it. So for her it was now 30 why this is important, okay? Is so to get the gown length, you just go ahead, you continue. You get the there's this part of the drawer when you're sewing 6 pieces skirts, A-shaped skirts or gowns. Okay, that place where it starts covering from, you just get the knee measurements, whatever your knee measurement, minus 6 inches. So if for her it was 42, 36 now will be that shaping line. Okay, so the next you get the hip measurements, wherever the client wears 3/4, and then the full length measurements. Now, as regards the full length measurement, that is the decision of the client. Don't assume where you want your half measurement, your full length to be. That's where the client's own. So next, we're moving on to the skirt waist. You ask the client where she wears her skirts, and then you take a snug measurement. Okay. Now, skirt to waist skirt waist to hip line measurement. So just as we did for the gown to hip, shoulder to hip line measurement for the gown, we're also doing the same thing for the skirt. You get it? So the next thing, we're getting the lower calf if you're sewing a trouser. Okay, I get in the lower calf, and to get the shaping again for the skirts, you get the knee and you measure, you minus 6 inches from whatever your knee measurement. So your skirt waist to whatever your knee length measurement is, minus 6 inches, and that will give you that shaping line. Okay, so skirt waist to the hip line to the shaping, shaping to the knee, wherever else the customer puts on her skirt, and then the full length of the skirt. Okay, now like I said, I think that's what I was saying right there. The tape has to be touching wherever the person wants the full length of the skirt or gown or trouser to be at. Okay, great. So next, we're moving on to trouser. For trouser, the same thing. You ask the customer wherever she wears the trouser. The same thing, skirt the trouser waist to wherever the hip line is, the actual hip is. Now we get the tie. We have upper tie and mid tie. You get the mid tie, you get the knee, and for calf, that thing we call yam in secondary school, that is the calf. Yes, you take that length also, and then you now take the full trouser length. Yippee! So now we'll move on to round band of the trousers. So first round band you're getting is the tie, the upper tie. Now you take a snug measurement, not too tight, not too loose, just snug. Even if you are sewing palazzo, please take it like this. Then when you are doing your palazzo, you can do your palazzo. Now you take the mid tie. Now for the knee, don't take the low knee, take the full knee, not there, yeah, but here, the full knee. Yes please, yes please, yes please. Okay, then you also take the calf, the fullest part of the calf. Okay, yes. And then we're moving on to the trouser length round band. I think I'll write down all this. Okay, now for the trouser length round band, for most adults it's 13, but you put your 13 and you get her to try and slip out her foot out of that 13 inches, and whatever it shifts to, that's the person's accurate trouser. So for her it shifted to 13 and a half. So that now instead of 13 and a half for her, you understand, just get the client to try and pull her legs out, and whatever it gives you, that's your trouser leg round band. Okay, so now we're moving on to the armhole, arm side, however else we know it. So I get the clients. Have any of us noticed that our right hand and our right legs is bigger than the left? Okay, I have. So right hand puts the hand on the waist akimbo, at ease, and you take a snug measurement. Whatever you get, please add 2 inches to it. Just take it as a rule. Whatever you get, add 2 inches to it. Now we move on to the fullest part of that arm, the fullest part of our hand. So we take the round band of it, we go to the middle, so mid between the shoulder and the elbow, and now we take the elbow. Now at that elbow point, you get her to bend her hand. If it's too tight, please ease that tape. Have you seen situations where you sew a dress and the person cannot even bend her hand? That's because you take it too tight. So fitted, now we got 13. Without ease, we're able to get like 14 inches. You see, too tight, she could not even bend her elbow properly. Okay, so put the tape there, ask the person to bend the elbow, and whatever is okay, that should be your elbow round band. Okay, so now we move to the midriff, the mid part between the elbow and the wrists. You also take that, get a snug measurement. Okay, and then we move on to the wrists, and we also take that measurement. And so now we're taking sleeve length measurements. So you measure first that fullest part of the arm, the middle of the arm, that's between the shoulder and the elbow. Okay, yes, that part. Now the elbow, now the middle between the elbow and the wrist, yes, and then the wrists, and we're done. Yes, finally, gingerly. So we've taken our circumferential measurements. Now please, in case we do not know, measurements, all your circumferential measurements, your bust, your waist, your hip, your round under bust, they are all to be divided by 4 inches. Now your thigh, that's the round band of your thigh, the round band of your knee, the round band of your calf, the round band of your trouser length, and all the round bands of your sleeve lengths, okay, and the shoulder is divided by 2. If you did like this video, please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up. This, I'm just a new channel. I do need your subscriptions. Thank you, 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 thank you.